Hey everybody, Dr. Dave here. I was getting ready to do some maintenance on myself this evening and figured this might make a really good post. Hopefully it's pretty informational for everybody. But the problem has been I've started weightlifting a lot heavier in the last couple of months. After our daughter was born, I was doing a lot of kettlebell stuff, a lot of more light weights, power based, and then I've gotten really into doing more heavy work lately. And so my body's starting to break down. And so something that I've noticed over the last couple of weeks is specifically in this left forearm. I've been having some pain when curling, or more specifically, whenever I'm bringing my arm over this way. I'll get like little zingers really starting from right here, almost kind of down into my hand a little bit, almost kind of into this area. Um, so kind of thinking through it diagnostically, what I decided was that really my median nerve is probably irritated. The source of that is a muscle called my pronator teres. Pronator teres, something actually starts right here, comes across right through here, and it pronates. Pronation is essentially bringing your arm that way. So noticed a lot, doing some curls, going into the supination, but on that eccentric portion, when I'd come down into pronation or doing anything resisted in pronation, I would get some zingers here. So what I decided to do earlier today, I was palpating my hands. I noticed that this left forearm is significantly tighter than the right one. So I'm going to do some soft tissue work to the area and ideally loosen it up, get some healthy blood flow in the area. And the way I decided to do that is by using cups. So I was trained in something called myofascial decompression, MFD for short. And you're still using cups, but it's very different from almost the Eastern approach that people think of when they think about cupping. So this is a very active type of cupping. It works really well with people who are active. I always say, you can't get better laying on a table. Active problems require active solutions. So really, I'm going to be walking you through a little short cupping routine on my hand. So I've got my cups, got my pump. I brought some silicone ones as well because the two placements I'm going to have, one is over that pronator teres, the other is going to be right here on the hand. So these are two common impingement spots of the median nerve. With this silicone one, if this guy doesn't work, because this is kind of a pain in the butt over the hand, even though I've got these awesome curved cups which work fantastically everywhere on the body, sometimes there's some issues getting it stuck and holding tight right there, especially if you're doing it to yourself. If I'm working on somebody, I might hold it on as I'm going through dynamic motions, but for tonight's purposes, if I'm not having luck with it, I'll just use a silicone one, which, it's not nearly as good, but I've only got one hand to work on myself, so we're going to make do with what we've got. But I much prefer to use these cups that I got my MFD coursework because they're highly effective. You can also use this pressure gauge to determine how deep are you actually going into the skin, muscle, fascia, etc. So I've got this coconut oil, massage cream, whatever you really want to use. That oftentimes works as like a caulk for the cups. It gives it something to stick onto, kind of creates some sealing. Dab right there, dab right there. I'm gonna rub it in a little bit. I like using the coconut oil because it smells good, doesn't stain clothing. Here's where the tricky part comes in. Well, it would be helpful to have an extra pair of hands. There we go. I'm pumping it up tight. So I want to get into that deep fascial layer, kind of right over that muscle belly, pronator teres. This is not comfortable. I am trying to make some really strong changes to the muscle group. That requires a strong stimulus sometimes. So let's see if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work on the hand. And I might honestly just keep this on here because it adds a little bit of pressure. So what I might start doing is doing a little bit of pronation, supination, pronation, supination, just real light motions. I might also do a little bit of flexion and extension with the hand. Could even add a little bit of finger flexion and extension as I'm going into those wrist movements. You can see just how red everything is. So all that blood is coming to the surface. We are decompressing the tissue, all the multiple layers of muscle, skin, fascia, and then I'm moving because I'm allowing a sliding and a gliding of all these tissues, which are supposed to slide and glide well. So you go into it. If I'm really wanting to be diligent in what I'm doing, I might do a couple of nerve glides. So we know that nerves come from the spinal cord, and you can trace them all the way down through certain muscle groups. And just like muscles can stretch, nerves can stretch. So the one for the median nerve, really you want to kind of decompress your shoulder, come out here into this external rotation of the shoulder, a little bit of abduction. I like that. And what I can do is just nerve glide. And this is crazy tight, so this is kind of tough, and I'm feeling a lot of nerve symptoms right now. Kind of get to that point. I can even add a little bit of neck motion. So right now I'm just gliding that nerve. Getting things to calm down, getting things to loose up. I'm kind of come back to this pronation, supination. And with these cups, I honestly don't like to keep them on super long. A couple of minutes at the most, kind of get in, do what you need to do, get out. That release. A couple of nice hickeys right there. Kind of what I'm doing now is just kind of helping all this fluid that's accumulated in the area. I'm helping kind of push it more towards some lymphatics, help get rid of all the tightness, all the stagnation that usually occurs in tight muscles. You can see right here I got a nice red reaction. That's not actually what I'm looking for. I could care less whether or not it got super red or bruised. That's not really a sign of success. But I'm looking for these kind of deep indentations, almost thickening of the tissue. I'm getting a little bit more right in through here, which lets me know, hey man, I was in a good spot. I should get a good response out of this. Yeah, that's cupping. This is something that I do quite frequently with clients. It's super effective, super quick. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.